Ever heard of the man who burned down the White House? It sounds like a myth, right? But in 1814, it actually happened. The man behind it was a British Major General named Robert Ross. And here's the crazy part. Despite this audacious act, his name is almost completely forgotten today. How does someone who struck at the very heart of America just vanish from history? Well, that's the story we are diving into. Let's set the scene. It's the War of 1812, a conflict often overshadowed by the Napoleonic Wars happening in Europe. America had declared war on Britain for a few reasons: trade restrictions, the British practice of impressing American sailors into their navy, and British support for Native American tribes resisting American expansion. For the first 2 years, the British were mostly busy fighting Napoleon. But in 1814, Napoleon was defeated and exiled. Suddenly, the full might of the British military was free to turn its attention to the upstart United States. And they were out for revenge. Enter Major General Robert Ross. Born in Ireland, Ross was a career soldier, a veteran of the brutal Peninsular War against Napoleon's forces. He was known as a brilliant tactician, respected by his men, and considered a gentleman officer. He wasn't some bloodthirsty pirate. He was a highly professional military commander tasked with a specific mission: to retaliate for American raids into Canada, especially the burning of York, which is modern-day Toronto. The British wanted to deliver a psychological blow, to destroy and lay waste to American towns and districts. And their primary target was Washington, D.C. In August 1814, Ross landed in Maryland with about 4,500 battle-hardened troops. They faced a hastily assembled American force at the Battle of Bladensburg. The American militia was inexperienced and poorly led. What happened next was so embarrassing it became known as the Bladensburg Races, because the American forces broke and ran so quickly. The path to Washington was wide open. President James Madison and his government fled the city in a panic. His wife, Dolly Madison, famously stayed behind just long enough to save some national treasures, including a now iconic portrait of George Washington. When Ross and his troops marched into the Capitol on August 24th, they found it nearly deserted. Now, here's where things get interesting. Ross wasn't planning on burning the whole city. His orders were to destroy public buildings, not private property. He reportedly sat down at the deserted White House dining table and had a meal that had been prepared for President Madison, drinking the president's wine. Then, he ordered his men to pile up the furniture and set the executive mansion ablaze. They didn't stop there. The Capitol building, which housed Congress and the Library of Congress, was also torched.